지금 다운로드 받으세요.
Yeah, I think Impact played very, very well in that game, though. And now, I do want to say, I think, first I thought Impact versus Beyond, that was like fighting for a spot in my mind in a lot of ways. Now Deer versus Impact is fighting for a spot. If Impact beats Deer here, I think Impact is setting himself up for third place.
But if Deer beats Impact here, then it's looking like Beyond Alive Deer as the favorite 3. So another very important game. 2 very important games happening here at Game 10 and Game 11. So,
as it turns out, can Impact take down Deer? Do you think he can, or?
Well, let's take a look at the map. Map is Dust Towers. It's Deer's map choice. Deer's a fantastic macro.
Yeah.
Protoss. I feel like he's got this one. He's definitely got the advantage.
Definitely have to agree with you on that.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to jump right into that right now. So let's jump into Dust Towers for Deer versus Impact.
I want you erased. I've had enough. Can't stop the pain, 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 pain. Can't stop the
pain. Here we are on Dust Towers once again. And up in the top right in the red, it is Deer from Samsung Galaxy Con. Seen this guy before a couple times. He's been around. Down here in the bottom left, it is Impact in the blue from SKT.
As you say, it's kind of our macro map. Deer very good at the macro Protoss, and I think overall it's just like, I think it's not a bad map necessarily for Zerg here, because you definitely can take a bunch of bases and be safe, but very good macro Protosses. It seems like it's quite hard because Zerg just can't quite break them at any point.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the name of the game. We saw Lurker play try to be used where you hit the 4th base and you try to harass behind if they take the 1 with the high ground, or you just try to go for a big attack with Hydras, Roges, and Lurkers towards the other 4th base position. But if not, we've seen, I think Dark actually beat Stats on this map in the SSL finals with Ling Bane.
Yeah.
I think he just got on top of the army and got a surround with Ling Bane, and he also was successful with his Baneling drops. I'm not 100% sure the way that Impact likes to play this matchup, but...
Yeah, I'm not either. We haven't really seen him CVP lately, right? Like, we've seen a lot of ZVZ out of him.
Yeah.
And a little bit of ZVT. But, and the thing is, I think his ZVZ is just really fantastic. His ZVT looked quite good against Beyond, to be honest. It was definitely a harder time against Alive on Ruins of Endion, but here against Deer, I don't know. I don't know what type of style to expect from him. I think he's a really smart player, so I don't think we'll see a Roach War in this game, because I think Zerxica Roach Warren. I don't like that. I don't like that building against Protoss right now, man. Immortals are like all right against everything that comes out of there.
Just all right.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Just okay. It's not too bad, but let's see.
Immortals, the unit of choice. They get nerfed. It doesn't matter. Protoss still make them en masse.
Oh yeah, no. It's like, oh wait, you mean the shield now protects 100 damage? I'm like, whoa, that's so sick. Like, if you just told me that's what it was in the beginning, I'd be like, wow, that's great.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a lot of damage. Wow.
Yeah. That's better versus most stuff than the old Immortal. Sick.
Yeah. Look at this. We have a Stalker first from Deer. Generally see some Adepts coming out and begin to harass and scout the Zerg, but going for a Stalker. We actually had Zest on a particular map want to restart the map for about 30 minutes because he made a Stalker by accident instead of an Adept.
Oh, wow.
So seeing a Stalker out here by Deer definitely means something.
Yeah, I most of the time I watch your guys' VODs and I just skip over any pauses, so I was actually unaware of that. That's really interesting, though.
Yeah,
it's because he made a Stalker instead of a Adept and he wanted to restart.
Yeah,
I would laugh at him and unpause the game.
It's because it was like a hotkey issue, you know, but that's his fault at the end of the day. So
totally.
What are you gonna say? So I think the Stalker here is to just keep the Overlord out while he gets an Oracle here to start. But it looks like Impact is being really safe, putting down a Spore already, and this Overlord is going to see it.
Very important that he does see it so he can get those spines up, or spores up, but the little bit of Lings actually hitting into this Nexus, and he does not have units to stop that.
I thought he wasn't going to cancel that. I was about to say, okay, well, Deer, if you're not going to be able to cancel here against a Zerg that's coming in and trying to harass you, then you're going to have a bit of trouble later
Yeah,
on.
you are. Now, this Oracle not getting anything done right now, taking some significant damage. This is one of the nice things with the Speedlings hitting at the same time. You're not going to be able to keep your full attention at either location.
Yeah, and you can see even committed to a second Oracle here. And generally, this is good if, you know, the Zerg is not ready for it. You can get a huge amount of kills. I remember on that, you know, the thin map? Do you remember that thin map that we had?
Which
That's not
map?
very descriptive, but...
Yeah, there's like definitely been more than one thin map.
Like
but
part of the Swarm. We used to see Mech out of Terran out of it a lot.
was it like Core Hall something? Which way was it thin? This way or this way?
This way.
Yes.
Up and down.
Did it have a gold base on it on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There were like 3 gold bases.
Yep. And it was super long.
I forget the name.
Super
I
tall.
think it had like a V in it.
Vonnie Research Station.
Okay, there you go.
Bam, done.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay.
Wow, that was a tag team
Yeah.
effort. All right, high five. I hope you guys heard that.
Well, the point about
we're
it,
awesome. Whoa.
we did it. I'm filling in for Tazels here as the Archon, or the Templar in this Archon, I suppose. But anyway, Classic did go for double Oracle against Vial on that map, and it really worked out because he just didn't have enough defense.
Yeah.
And it wasn't scouted. He just destroyed the whole gold base of mining, and it was basically GG from there.
Your memory is quite fantastic, by the way.
I just remember these random games where like specific builds happen, and it was really, you know, clutch, stuff like that. We do have a drop coming in here. And this Phoenix not doing much, not in the right position, and more Lings running into the third base now.
Another drop going back towards that back natural as well. He does get a Photon overcharge off. Doesn't really do that much damage there, but this is a ton of harassment coming out of Impact.
He's really committing to this.
If he gets one of these to work out well, it's going to be worthwhile, but so far, it's not happening.
Well, this one may be the one, but with the Warp in coming in, perhaps not. You can easily just put those Adepts into a position where they won't go down. There you go. He does hold that off. Another one coming into the third base, but an overcharge will shut it down. 6-7 probes going to be the toll here.
Yeah, well, you know, he's put a lot of money into this, a lot of links into it. I don't think 7 probes is truly enough, to be honest. I think that this was fantastic defense by Deer, and he has to be feeling okay. Like, I don't think that necessarily puts him ahead because Impact took a very quick fourth, and the Oracles didn't do much yet.
Yeah, it was basically pressure to get that fourth up, as you were saying, and if you've got a fourth, that's a lot of extra larva if you're going for this kind of composition. He loses an Oracle too, which is never good. And I mean, just having all those extra minerals and the larva to go Ling Bane and be able to go into a transition here where he's getting a Spire Infestation Pit, could even be going for Greater Spire here as an eventuality for this build.
It looks like Dark, geez. I'm like calling him Dark because I'm like, this is such good play.
I mean, they're on the same team, so.
I think people are starting to figure out I'm too much of an Impact fan. I'm sure there will be some, oh, you're cursing him. But look at this. This is Deer attacking right now. The Baneling drops are going to come over.
Yeah, coming over the top, and the
good micro by Deer.
Yeah, and he gets onto the top here. That's why I feel like on this map, this fourth base is, even though it's closer, it's usually not better.
Yeah, every
like
race can abuse it in some way.
Lurkers get up there. I mean, look at this now. Only 2 force fields, and you're holding this off. He may just lose this hatchery now.
That would be a huge moment for Deer in this game. Impact, I felt like, was in good position until this happened. That 4th mining base was really, really needed, especially with this type of composition. But let's see if he can clean it up here. More force fields.
And he can keep the sentries on the high ground, too. He doesn't even have to have them on the low ground.
He does have the Lings going up there right now. Connects with some of these Banes, but Banes against Stalkers are not really that good.
And he loads up all the sentries into the Warpers, and at the same time, a massive drop into the main.
Wow. This is like great map abuse, great micro from Deer, and Impact with this set of units, like with those natural barriers like the gas and the minerals. He's so dead, man. This was great by Deer.
He's dead. You called it. I mean, this is he knew exactly how to deal with this kind of composition in these spots. I mean, going for this kind of drop is huge with a double warp prism too. One into the main and one at the fourth base. It's just incredibly hard to hold off as the Zerg in those two different spots, especially with those force fields at those two spots. Like, and the sentries are just totally protected on the high ground. It's crazy.
And now that we have Archons out here, he's just going to have a harder time against everything. He is going into a Roach tech, but like he doesn't really have upgrades for them. Immortals are on the way. Roaches are really not that good in this matchup after the early game.
And Greater Spire, as I was talking about before, it eventually does come out here, but that's so far off. He's on 3 bases, basically. When is he ever going to get Broodlords out here? It's going to take forever. And even then, I mean, he's got a lot of gateways back at home. He can warp in a bunch of Stalkers. There's not going to be much on the ground to support them if he does commit to them.
A player with the skill of Deer is absolutely going to finish him off with this tech. Look at that army. Oh, my God. He's just going to throw his army into this and then GG out.
Yeah, he essentially just 1-8 in there. Banelings blow up all of the Zealots. They don't even run to the Archons, which would have been better for the Protoss. This doesn't matter.
I like that he's staying in, though, just because Broodlords, the one thing that I have definitely learned since, from Wings of Liberty all the way up here to Legacy of the Void, Broodlords can win some stupid situations. Like, none of these units actually are good against Broodlords. Oh, well,
GG. There you go. Deer going to take the win. And a very nicely done game there on Dust Towers. It makes sense why he picked that map against Zerg. He looked very, very comfortable and practiced on that.
So that was a home win for Deer.
Yeah.
Right, home win, and then we have another loss for Impact. Impact 1-3. My boy needs to pick it up, man. This is very tough for him right now. But here's the thing, in these losses, maybe not as much against Alive. That was like a really tough loss. But these other two losses against Beyond and Deer, I think that Impact showed like lots of skill, lots of good moves. It's just not. He's just not as good as those two players right now. It seems.
It seems like he's just a small step behind. And he's getting outplayed just barely, especially the game against Beyond.
Yeah.
Just small little things. He gets behind and he's hanging on for dear life for like 10, 15 minutes, and he just can't seem to win or come back or get an advantage at all. So.